Marcus Moore in Texas tonight. Marcus, thank you. There were also late developments here in New York City tonight in the case of the Barnard College freshman killed in a city park. You'll remember police say 18-year-old Tessa Majors was robbed and stabbed to death last week. She staggered up a steep staircase looking for help before dying. A 13-year-old boy has already been charged in her death. And tonight, the NYPD has just released this image of a 14-year-old, also wanted, they say, in connection with the case. Anyone with information is asked to call the NYPD tonight. The other case we're following at this hour, authorities rushing to the scene of a deadly workplace shooting in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Police say a city worker opened fire and another worker was killed inside a public works building. An officer and another worker were both wounded. Witnesses say they heard gunfire and immediately started running. Here's ABC's Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas tonight.
As police descended on a Winston-Salem city government office building, reports of shots fired and urgent concern about a gunman on the loose.
Multiple shots fired. They're advising a potential active shooters inside the building.
Witnesses saying the shooter has two handguns.
Be advised, the shooter is still there as he's waiting for police. Advised he's still armed.
Within moments of violent confrontation with police.
The shooter, identified as Stephen Dwayne Hazlip, 61 years old, a city of Winston-Salem employee for 12 years.
Police shot and killed the suspect during a brief gunfight just outside the building. An officer is wounded, shot twice. Inside, word of victims.
The victim has been shot 9 times.
Terry Lee Cobb, 48, a co-worker of the suspect, has been shot and killed. Another city worker also wounded.
We're sending prayers out to the families, and I just hope that we can all get through this together.
David, police say the suspect killed a co-worker he had just argued with yesterday. It was apparently a classic case of workplace violence. David?
All right, Pierre Thomas with us on a Friday night. Pierre, thank you. And now to the new storm in the west on one of the busiest travel days of the year, the weekend before Christmas. Snow, rain, and possible landslides in several states. Heavy snow, in fact, slowing drivers. This is I-90 in Washington State. Chicago's O'Hare Airport packed with travelers tonight. 3 million Americans expected to fly across the country today. And in the east tonight, heavy rain and possible flooding in the southeast may cause travel delays right into the weekend. And where will there be a white Christmas? Let's get right to meteorologist Rob Marciano. He's tracking it all for us. Hey, Rob.
Hi, David. A popular question this time of year. Well, our weather pattern has slowed down dramatically. That's not good for the folks in the west. They've been enduring the rainfall. Seattle, a record-setting day today with rain. You see it's still raining there. They've seen nearly 5 inches in the last 2 days. Portland, you're getting it too. It kind of slides to the south through Salem tomorrow and then into San Francisco Bay Area by Sunday before it stretches out. 2 to 5 inches of additional rainfall, though. River flooding is expected. In the south, the southern jet getting a little wave across the Gulf Coast states. Heavy rain from Pensacola to Atlanta into Jacksonville right through Monday. So tough travel there. And as for a white Christmas, this map shows where there is snow on the ground right now. I don't see it expanding over the next 5 days. So if you don't see snow out your door now, chances of a white Christmas for you are slim. David?
The northern edges of the country there, Rob. Thanks. We move on tonight. And next this evening, 2 days after the president was impeached by the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi now sending the president an invitation to deliver his State of the Union address on February 4th. Tonight, the president has accepted, but he's now locked in a new feud, taking aim at the evangelical magazine Christianity Today for publishing a new and scathing editorial calling for his removal from office. President Trump tonight firing back, and here's our chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl.
Just days after voting to impeach President Trump, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi today sent him an invitation, writing, quote, "In the spirit of respecting our Constitution, I invite you to deliver your State of the Union address." And she set a date, February 4th, that could coincide with the Senate impeachment trial. Speaker Pelosi still hasn't decided when to send the articles of impeachment to the Senate. But in an interview with the Associated Press, she said, quote, "No matter what the Senate does, he's impeached forever." It comes as Christianity Today, a magazine founded by evangelical leader Billy Graham, published an editorial calling for the president to be removed from office, declaring his actions regarding Ukraine, quote, "profoundly immoral." It's a rare rebuke from evangelical Christians, who the president constantly courts.
Did you notice that everybody is saying Merry Christmas again?
Trump hit back on Twitter, calling the magazine far left and progressive. Billy Graham's son, Franklin, said his late father would be embarrassed by the editorial. But Christianity Today pointed out they once called for Bill Clinton to be removed from office, too. Today, they quoted from that 1998 editorial saying the words apply to President Trump as well. Unsavory dealings and immoral acts by the president and those close to him have rendered this administration morally unable to lead.
So let's get right to John Carl with us live at the White House tonight. He's been there with us all week. And John, Speaker Pelosi inviting the president to deliver that State of the Union just 2 days after the House impeached the president. And tonight, the president accepting?
The White House put out a statement saying simply that the president has accepted the speaker's invitation. Meanwhile, the top lawyer here at the White House spent the day preparing for the Senate trial, visiting the Senate chamber, and the president is about to leave for Florida. He'll be spending the holidays at Mar-a-Lago with his family. David?
John Carl tonight. We appreciate your reporting all week long, John. Overseas tonight, new developments in the case making international headlines, even President Trump weighing in. The wife of an American diplomat now officially charged by UK authorities in the deadly car accident that killed a 19-year-old in the UK. She's now back in the U.S. claiming diplomatic immunity, but will she have to go back? ABC's James Longman in London tonight.
Tonight, relief for the heartbroken parents of a British teenager.
We believed and we believed. And we've done it.
UK prosecutors charging Anne Sakoulas, the wife of a US diplomat, with causing the death of 19-year-old Harry Dunn by dangerous driving. Sakoulas was driving on the wrong side of the road back in August when she hit and killed Dunn. She returned to the US soon after, claiming diplomatic immunity. But now UK authorities are seeking her extradition. Tonight, a lawyer for Sakoulas, seen here for the first time at her home in the US, says she will not return.
Can I have a word with you, please? Will you go back to the UK, Mrs. Sakoulas?
The US has never denied an extradition to the UK under their treaty. But in this case, the US is claiming diplomatic immunity. The State Department saying in a statement, "We're disappointed by today's announcement and fear that it will not bring a resolution closer." But Harry's mother is hopeful.
I feel it's one huge step towards that promise to Harry.
The charges now mean a diplomatic battle is looming between the two allies, right when newly elected British Prime Minister Boris Johnson wants to forge a good relationship with President Trump. David?
James Longman with us tonight. James, thank you. And back here at home tonight on a spectacular setback tonight for Boeing's race to send Americans into space. Look at this today. This was the final test of the unmanned Starliner spacecraft, beginning with what appeared to be a perfect launch today. But once in orbit, the capsule using the wrong clock for timing the rockets to fire, making it impossible to connect with the International Space Station. The mission then aborted. The reusable Starliner now scheduled to land back in New Mexico in the desert there on Sunday. There's also news coming in tonight about the investigations into those controversial hand gestures made during the Army-Navy football game. Both military branches tonight saying cadets and midshipmen seen flashing hand symbols on live TV were playing what's called the circle game and not making racist white power signs. Investigators calling it immature behavior. All are still facing possible punishment. There is still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Friday. Made in America Christmas, we asked and you answered all week long here. And overnight, the last-minute ideas pouring in the one gift tonight that will really have everyone in the family smiling. A lot more news ahead. Stay tuned.
ABC News, straightforward.
The Americans here on the ground and the Iraqi doctors. Ismail?
Yes.
David.
David.
Over ground zero from Hurricane Michael.
You can see just home after home.
David, good to meet you.
This was your view.
My favorite view.
Thank you very much.
Okay, imagine the morning. I'm talking about a good morning. Imagine starting your day off with friends. What's better than that? You know, like the crazy smart friend who always keeps you in the know. The friend with a huge heart and smile who just makes everything better. Imagine hearing from people who open your eyes and your heart. Imagine knowing what's coming next in the day ahead. Well, I get to live this each morning together with you. Imagine that. How blessed am I? And that's what makes it such a good morning, America.
Just 4 shopping days left until Christmas, and tonight the stores that will still get your packages there on time. Rebecca Jarvis out to save your money tonight.
Tomorrow, Super Saturday.
It's perfect.
On track to be the biggest shopping day of the year. Nearly 148 million shoppers in stores and online. Many offering extended hours for procrastinators. Kohl's open now until 6 p.m. Christmas Eve. This weekend, expect big discounts on clothes and toys. At Walmart and Target, up to 50% off select items. But if you're looking to order online and have it under the tree, time is running out.
Still need a gift? Macy's last-minute gift sale.
Place those Macy's orders by noon Saturday. Walmart, Nordstrom, and Amazon Prime by Sunday. Or be prepared to pay extra.
Spend the extra money and ship it next day air. That's really going to give you the best opportunity to make someone happy on Christmas.
And David, if you are planning to brave those crowds, the retailers recommend the buy online, pick up in store option. That way you know you're getting exactly what you want when you head out to shop. David?
All right. Thanks, Rebecca.
ABC News, straightforward.
This is what being live is all about. This is ABC News Live, the 24/7 streaming news source from ABC News. Breaking news, live events, streaming nonstop. Original breakthrough storytelling from ABC News, National Geographic, ESPN, and it's all designed differently for you to stream straight to any screen whenever you want. Free. ABC News Live. Stream it now or anytime on Roku, Hulu, Facebook, and abcnews.com.
Finally tonight, our Made in America Christmas. There's still time to find your one thing. This year's Made in America Christmas, our 9th year doing it, began in the hills across America. The Holiday Tree Farms in Corvallis, Oregon, where the Schudel family, in business since 1955, family members still cutting down the trees. Some choppered to the truck at stores and Christmas tree stands hundreds of miles away.
It's the reason for the season. I mean, you wait all year for your Christmas tree.
We took you down Fifth Avenue, the famous windows, and we asked, what's your one thing made in America this year? The Raleigh family from Rochester.
You know, you watch World News Tonight.
Yeah, every night.
So what's your one thing made in America this year for Christmas?
Oh, I gotta think about this for a second.
There's still time. And Yvonne from Georgia, she watches too.
Did you buy your one thing made in America?
Yes.
There's still time for Yvonne too. And the friends from Cincinnati, their one thing.
Tough question.
It's a tough question.
Yeah, but I don't know. Because I don't know. I never thought about that.
They told us they'd call us back when they find it. And after last night's report, ideas pouring in.
Hey, David. This is a one made in America Christmas gift that I bought for my grandson, Owen. It's called the Crawligator.
What's the Crawligator? Made in Bolo, Illinois. It helps babies crawl, developing their kicking, their reaching, their pushing. The team there working together to fill orders and putting on the finishing touches. 1,000 Crawligators a day.
David, we're the Crawligator team from Bolo, Illinois. Merry Christmas. Made in America. Yay!
And there were the workers making those Orvis fly fishing rods in Manchester, Vermont.
Hi, David. We're the Orvis Rod Shop.
Tonight telling us their phones have been ringing off the hook. Orvis asking if I want to go fishing with them. Do I ever? On the water since I was a kid, there on the left. And Plum Print tonight in Asheville, North Carolina.
Hi, David.
They've received dozens of calls since our report last night. They send out a box, you ship them your child's artwork over the years, and they turn it into a book. FedEx came twice today to ship out those boxes. So many orders, there wasn't enough room in the trucks. Tonight, they tell us orders up more than 200%. Which brings us back to the women from Cincinnati. Did call us back, their one thing. Holding their bourbon made in America. Maker's Mark and Buffalo Trace. We love it. People still thinking about their one thing, just like that couple from Pennsylvania.
We love your Made in America.
Yes, you love Made in America.
Oh, I know that. Yeah, we do. We love it.
We love Made in America, too, and we love it when those companies tell us that their phones ring off the hook after these reports. Have a great weekend. Good night.
Next week, 2020 and the Senate impeachment trial. The details, who will testify, what to expect. Plus, the presidential campaign heats up. World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.
you.